Alrighty then, let's get this started today. This is the newest reel. Let's get into it. Let's get real with it. Scottish with the cheese in your face. This is a follow-up video to volume 6 for one of my viewers named... Yeah, okay. I believe this image shows the plane upside down. No, it doesn't. You can see the following damage on the top of the plane. Oh, so you're now finally saying this is the top of the plane, right? But remember, this is the sky here. You got this image upside down. It needs to be flipped right side up. Yeah, this is a hillside, so that should be slightly tilted so the airplanes can... Yeah, okay. Anyways. And also, I believe that's a shadow because that damage probably hasn't been made just yet. It might have, I don't know. Well, let's watch. The same damage was seen on the plane on the ground. Okay, yeah. We would expect that it would have the same damage. Okay, quick question. In all the camera images we have, in all the video images, we are seeing the left side of the plane. We're seeing this side right here. So why are you pointing to damage on this side of the airplane as proof of anything? Now also look at where the wing is connected here. See where the wing is connected here? This is on the wing part, as where if we go back here to your, where did it go? Where'd it go? Oh, I guess we don't get this. Right here, this is on the actual back part by where the tail is. The wings are up here. So why are you pointing to something here and then pointing to something here when those are clearly not the same part of the airplane? This damage did not make its way onto the wing in the same area as on the plane. This damage did not make its way onto the wing in the same area as the... What are you talking about? I don't get this one. I mean, we got that damage right there. We got the bent tail right here. And what we'd be seeing would be on the other side of the airplane. And as I said, it's more than likely not damage. It's probably a shadow. All right. You can also see the front of the plane's right wing. Okay, what are we talking about? It is bent under because the plane flipped over. What are we talking about? That is bent down and the material is all crumpled in because the support bars are all crushed. That's not from being flipped over. What are you talking about? You have yet to prove this airplane was ever on its back. In order for the entire length of the wing to be bent under, but the entire length of the wing's not bent under, you got the fabric that is messed up. The wing had to be detached because, no, the wing's still attached, we can see that. It's somewhat off, but it's still there. The cockpit is directly next to the right wing. What are you talking about? You can see that the back of the plane's right wing is real bent. Okay. And that's because that wing probably hit first as it came in. That's not really too weird. That's not proof it was ever on its back. That's just proof that it came in sideways. Remember, in the video, it came in kind of at an angle like this. So yeah, you would expect that wing would have hit first, which would have bent it back. Yeah, no, it wasn't upside down. It hit the tree or brush and bent the wing in at least 3 places. No, the plane was never upside down, dude. Yeah, that's because it crushed in. Kind of like how this all crushed in. Notice how this is all crushed in? That all crushed in. Okay, and also because it bent, it... No, this is not evidence of it being upside down. Nowhere is this evidence of it being upside down. You have yet to prove it was upside down. In the image in question, you can see the egg-shaped D window and also see the pilot's door ripped off as swung backwards. Let's see what you're talking about. Because there's probably more misinformation like usual. That's not the pilot's door. And I don't believe that's the D-shaped window. I believe that the pilot's door and D-shaped window would be more underneath where the wing is further in here. This is all... No, once again, you're wrong. And the plane is not upside down. Sky. This here is sky. 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 All right? Sky. Now, if we flip the image over, it looks like this. Yeah, that's because you flipped the image over completely 180 and not rotated it properly. This here is a hillside. It needs to be rotated a little bit more to the left, and also as the airplane hit, it bent and threw itself down. But no, this airplane's actually hitting slightly in because this hillside should be slightly more. If you look at some of the other images, yeah. No, you're wrong here again. This would show the nose of the plane is up in the air. No, because you didn't rotate the image right. Remember, we got a tumbling camera. It's not limited to the 4 axes of your screen. It has infinite rotational possibilities. However, we also know the plane nosedived down before impact. No, it didn't. It was already at a 35 to 45 degree angle as it hit. It didn't nose down. There's no evidence that it nosed down. And even the flaps in the back are slightly up, not down, meaning it would have been nosing up, if anything, not nosing down. But once again, the amount of flap that we see in the images was not enough to actually make it nose up. That was just it was slightly up because it was coming down. God damn. See right here? There is no flap down. None whatsoever. No flap down. No flap down, couldn't nose down. Now, look at the way that this is coming in at this angle. This is the same angle that we should see in the other image. Notice the hillside. You were either dumb as dirt or purposely trolling. And we all know the tail flew up and... No, we don't know the tail flew up in the air. How do we all know this? We don't know the tail flew up in the air because the tail never flew up in the air. And in fact, the evidence is that the tail, once the airplane hit, bent down and threw itself to the ground. That's the evidence that we have. That's why there's the bend in the back. The back of the plane is broken because of the way it hit the ground. Okay. Every action has an opposite and equal reaction. So we are moving forward and down. So we have to do that little square chart thing where we go forward and down, you know, and you see the angle that we are going down, right? When the forward momentum stops, all you have is downward momentum. So as soon as the plane hits, all the momentum forward is transferred into downward momentum, slamming the plane to the ground. It didn't hit more flat like this, where the forward momentum, where the downward momentum would stop and the forward momentum would carry it over. Once again, here is the angle that we should be having those mountains at. Look at how the back is. That's not flipping over. That's staying perfectly fine. That's... Once again, look at the angle of the ground. Here's the sky, right? This image should be rotated, right? But you're not rotating the image properly. You're looking at it like, oh, look, it's... But... You're not rotating the image properly. And the plane was completely... No, it wasn't. You didn't have the image in proper orientation. The dark blue line is to the left and the light blue line is to the right. Yeah, we can agree on that in this image. The dark blue line is here and the light blue line is here. But remember, you gotta rotate this image a little bit. And if you rotate the image, then the airplane's coming in at the same degree angle that it was in every other shot. You're wrong on this one. The plane was not completely vertical. You're wrong on this one. Because you're not looking at the horizon. What are we looking at here? What are these? What are you pointing out here? Little gaps in the grass? This is grass here, dude. The airplane's back here. See this part here and this part here? Now also see the horizon here? Once again, we need to tilt this angle. And you'll see that this is the airplane coming straight in. Here, you know. Here's your dark blue line. Here's your light blue line. This is where the dark blue line is. This is where the light. This is the airplane right here. This right here is the airplane. What are you pointing to right here? Now, once again, this is a hillside. This shouldn't be flat here. This should be tilted. When the plane impacted the ground, the engine cowling were pushed into the cockpit area. Yes. And the top back spine of the airplane bent. Yes. Okay. Now, if it hit more vertical and it was thrown over like you're saying, that bend in the back, it would go bink and bend over like this, and the tail right here would get crushed in. Now, what do we see? The engine cowling, because it was lower on it, got hit, pushed up and in, the cockpit up and in. So here's the cockpit, here's the engine cowling, and went into it, and then the back bent down, and it all slammed to the ground. It didn't go over. And then as it slammed to the ground this way, it hit the bush right here, pulling this wing up like it did, and slamming this wing to the ground. Now, if you actually watch the video, it hit at a slight angle, which would cause this wing to hit the ground first, which is where all that damage to that wing is. All this evidence is in the video, but you don't show everything in the video, do you? You like to use these still images to try to prove something, but your still images don't prove anything because it's not all the information. Once again, you got to adjust the image. Adjust the image. Yeah, you can start to see the bend. I will agree that looks like the bend there. But if we adjust the image right, you will see. So now when you see the tail up in the air like this, the cockpit is like this. But you didn't adjust the image to the right angle. And the plane was doing 60 plus miles per hour on impact. Yeah, around 50 something. Little under 60, I would say. And the momentum carried the plane over. No, the momentum of the plane carried it to the ground. It slammed it to the ground, which is what bent that back. It came in, hit, and slammed to the ground. When your forward momentum stops, your downward momentum increases. Because downward momentum didn't stop before forward momentum couldn't increase. The angle of the plane is not in question. It was about a 35 to 45 degree down angle. It was not 60 degree down like you said. Therefore, in my king of the case opinion, the plane flipped over. The plane did not flip over. You're wrong. I am going to have to go through and cut this all out and take it into frickin' Photoshop and properly adjust the images so that they are all properly adjusted for you to prove that the plane never flipped over. I don't want to do that. That's too... Notice, I don't edit my crap. Oh my god! Look! The plane flipped over, and what happened to the fucking tail? Did that tail get smashed in? Oh yeah, that tail got smashed in, didn't it? The tail's gone. It's obliterated, right? Oh! But yet the tail is still intact on Trevor's airplane, huh? Boom, once again, the tail got smashed. Look at that tail, it got smashed, didn't it? Oh, this one the tail didn't get smashed because it's in water. This one the tail didn't get smashed because of, okay, so maybe the tail didn't get smashed, but it didn't stay flipped over, did it? Now also, you notice what we don't see in any of these videos? The tail bent the other direction down, do we? Notice what we don't see here. We don't see the back of the plane being broken, do we? The back of the plane is not broken, is it? There's no bend there. The back of the plane here, there's no bend there. Back of the plane does not get bent in that direction, does it? And there, the tail's clearly smashed. Now also, these airplanes are going faster because they're taking off. That one was landing, so it was probably going slower. But notice what we don't ever see is the back get bent in the opposite direction. And boom, oh look, that tail clearly got smashed. Crunch, 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 crunch. Oh, and notice what we do notice? Watch this, watch here. Watch here. It's straight and it bends. Okay, I guess you're right. It can bend down from this because that does look like it got bent down. But it only got bent down because the tail got smashed in. So if the tail don't get smashed in, how did it get bent down? That's the question. If the tail didn't get smashed in, how did it get bent down like that? Okay, and the last plane flipped over with no damage to the tail wing, just like Trevor. But it didn't have a broken back like Trevor's. The spot the plane is found in is not the spot it crash landed in. Actually, it is, because that bush that you see the camera go into is the same bush the wing is in. Trevor's reassembled parts of the plane in the spot it was found in. You're saying Trevor Jacob went to the crash site before filming him going to the crash site and dragged and flipped all the pieces and tried to reassemble the airplane. For what reason? What reason would he have for doing that? Why would he do that? Why would he not just go there and film the crash site of it upside down? Why would he flip it over? Now also, this is a 700-pound airplane. More if you count the wings, but you're saying the wings came off, so I'm not counting. It's about a 700-pound airplane. So you're saying he deadlifted a 700-pound airplane over? That he just flipped a 700-pound airplane over? His scrawny little ass flipped a 700-pound airplane over and then dragged those wings and put them there and took one of those wings and lifted it up and put it on the bush. He lifted one of those wings up and put it on the bush. All right? For your story to be accurate, he had to manhandle that wing right here onto a bush. So you're saying this scrawny little motherfucker lifted that and put it on a bush to stage this. Why? Why would he stage this? I don't understand your logics here. Why would he manhandle that wing and get it up on... Where is it? Come on. Why would he manhandle... Are we playing? No, I don't think we are. Why would he manhandle this wing and throw it up on this bush? Why, if he was going to flip it over and try to reassemble, would he reassemble it half in a bush? How did he flip it over? How did he pick this thing up and flip it over? That's my curiosity. All right? How did he flip it over? Reassemble parts in the spot it was found in. No, he didn't. You haven't proved that. So the plane could be helied out in one cost-saving trip. You're retarded. So since you think the image is upside down, it's not just upside, you need to skew it right. Please explain the detail why the nose of the plane is up. Because the image is not just, You need to rotate the image properly. After the plane impacted the ground, nose down. The tail of the plane is up, and it's up the whole time. The camera flips. You need to rotate this image properly so that the You need to rotate it properly. This is still not proper. The plane only slid for 2 seconds after impact. It actually didn't slide at all. It stuck the landing. So also explain where in the sequence of the skid would the plane nose fit in. Well, it didn't skid. It stuck the landing. It didn't skid. It stuck the landing. Nope. Okay. Also, notice how the cowling was bent up in all of that, showing that it didn't flip over. Real stupid. No, that's one's no. It didn't flip over. I got a real question. What is wrong with you? I don't get it. I don't get it. Peace out.